Same again, please, guys. If you make sure you raise your hand in good time, just because it takes some time to pull you through to the system. And we'll start with Joe. We'll take some questions in English. If there is anything in German towards the end, we'll take those at the end of it. Joe, for you, please.
Hi, Pep. Obviously, it's a sad week for Manchester City with the passing of Franny Lee. I just wanted to get your thoughts on what sort of legacy does he leave at Manchester City?
Part what we are. So looks like the reality, the day by day, looks like only exist the people we are here, but we are here for the people who work like Franny Lee, Mike Summery, Colin Bell, in that three part of the degeneration that create a bound of this organization, this club. Of course, on behalf of the team, of course, the statement for the club, for the team, on behalf of all of them, to her wife and all the family. Yeah, a huge hug.
Andy?
Hello, Pep. I'd just like to ask you about the disruption to your plans, but what time do you now expect to arrive in Leipzig, and how much of a problem has this been to you?
Later. There's no problem. The problem is fly safe and land safe, and this is the important thing. You have to, apparently at 7, you have to do it at 9, it's not a problem. So the authorities said it was so risky to fly before, so that's why we made the training session longer and the lunch longer. We have time to rest, and now we are going to fly to Germany.
Okay, you're playing a side that last time you met, you beat them 7-0. Do you think that's going to have any bearing on what will occur tomorrow?
And we draw 1-1 there. It's another game, another competition. It was a really good game for our side, and we had an incredible run at home last season. We had in our bonds that we want to do it, we want to try to reach the final again, and since the first minute we felt it, but now it's group stage, is completely different, and I have fresh that game, but I have fresh the game we play in Leipzig too, how intense they are, how typical Red Bull team, Leipzig with Marco Rose, always the same manager doing really good things, and how attack the space and a lot of people in the middle. So yeah, we try to go there because it's a huge step for us. If we are able to get good result, we make a step forward to qualify for the next round.
Mike?
Hi, Pep. Hope you can hear me okay. Bernardo and John Stones trained today. How are they looking? Any chance they could play tomorrow, or is it maybe one more for the weekend?
No, they feel better. Bernardo better than John. Both travel. We're going to decide tomorrow, but yeah, really happy that they are back. So John could not play one minute this season, and Bernardo had a pre-season like that, the birth of her beautiful daughter, and also was injured a little bit. So this disruption made a little bit longer their comeback, but they are back. So that is a good news for us.
Is it going to be more difficult, do you think, for Erling Haaland this season? I'm just thinking back to the Forest and Wolves games where they put 2 men on him to keep him quiet. Is it more down to him to try and find a solution, or the team to be perhaps a little bit more creative this time around?
He had a lot of chances to score goals. That's 2 games more difficult when you play the way the opponents play, with 3 or 5 defenders, with a lot of players there, defending 18-yard box, 10 players, always not easy. But not just for him, for any player around the world. But if you see the chances he had, the goals he scored, it's the same level last season.
Rob, please.
Hi, Pep. You're in the middle of a run of 6 out of 7 games away from home. How tough is that little run, especially with some of the quality of opponents you're going to play, like RB Leipzig as well?
Well, it's what it is. So now it's a lot away, and after we'll have many at home. So it's what it is. So the schedule calendar dictate the draw at the beginning of the season, and we adapt. So it's what it is.
Simon Stone?
Hi, Pep. The last few days, there's been a lot of talk about VAR. We spoke to you about referees after the game on Saturday. Does VAR change your job, and do you trust it?
They change the job of the referees. Because now they don't take the decisions. The decisions got to be made for the VAR, the important ones. But if you make a mistake and then VAR, after you have a problem. So I understand completely how upset must be Liverpool in that case. It could be another club, but the bosses on the referees will decide what we have to do, and we follow them. So yeah, that's all.
Do you have any ideas how you would make the system better?
No, I'm not a professional of that. I rely on the people, and they have to play as best as possible. I would say I'm not a professional of that, and I'm not involved, and I don't care. So I have to rely on the people there, but so everyone knows they did a mistake, and Liverpool suffer big consequences of that, because in this type of games this is so important. And but no worry, the consequences will dictate the players and the managers. Don't worry.
Jack, please.
Thank you.
How frustrating is it though, the VAR? If something goes against you, are you more frustrated if it goes against you and it's a clear error now than you ever were before, because there is a technology for them to look at?
They will have to find the system, like the main roles are to be the players and the football and the game itself. In all the countries, not just here, in all the countries now, the referees in VAR are the leading roles. And the Oscar goes to, so, and they have to make a step back. So it's the players. And they have to, sometimes there are games like just being more humble and do it what they have to do, they will do it better. They will do it better.
Michael?
Can I just ask you about the run of away games that Rob was asking about before? How confident are you in the squad now that you can go and really attack these away games either side of the international break, given that you've got players coming back?
Listen, Jack, I don't know what's going to happen this season. So it's too early to know exactly, but I have more than admiration or more than, wow, what about these players, what they have done in the past, they have done so far. So it's unbelievable. So we concede two shots on target, we concede one goal, and after that, we were there most of the times. You have 23 shoots, not all on target. When a 10 players in the box, never is easy. And we lost the game. It's part of football. Of course, we have to improve, yeah. So last game against Wolves, the basis of the fundamental players we had last season, the last 3 months of the last season, when we played the final season, it was Rodri, John Stones, Kevin De Bruyne, Ilkay Gundogan, Jack Grealish, Bernardo Silva was not there. So 6 players. That the war, everybody knew it because they played really, really good, was important. And that you need sometimes you have to adjust something. It's normal. But I would say Matheus, for example, Juliana was involved, have been amazing. I could not expect Matheus and Matteo adapt so quick. Jeremy, the minutes they play, it's stopped. But there are moments, there are games, and there are things that, there are players that know exactly what we have to do, but for one simple reason. We are 7 years together, 8 years together, and they know it. When I breathe, they know what they have to do, and the other ones know. And they apply really well, but they don't know it. And sometimes we need that, but they have to be involved. They have to play games, They have to be in that position, and it's completely normal. It's just still we are in the process to getting better, to make our team better, and play a little bit better, and of course getting results. It was a pity, yeah. Newcastle game we lost. It hurts, yeah, a little bit. Against the Wolves, it hurts, yeah, it hurts. Because Premier League is so tough, and we know how important it was. But now we have to, move forward, prepare the game like Leipzig for the chance we have, and after go again away in London against Arsenal, and yeah. So we are not going to win the Premier League against Wolves. We are not going to lose the Premier League against Wolves. We have been in the position to be behind the leader these years many, many times. So maybe the first year were 100 points. We lead from the beginning until the end in other leagues, but the other ones always were behind. And behind points, 6, 7, 8 points behind. Not now in October, 1st October, 2nd October, 3rd October. It was in February, maybe, March. So just question, come back the players, come back our principles to try to do better and learn from the game and learn again from the game and learn, help to the new to play like we are. I'm more than pleased, honestly, more than pleased at what they have done so far. But you have to move on.
Guys, I'm going to take one each from Michael and James, and then we'll see if there's anything in German, please. Michael.
Hi, Pep. Got Rodri back for this match, but I heard him in August talking about the amount of games, and you've just mentioned all the games. You've got so many in a season, and him having a proper rest. I know, of course, you wouldn't want him sent off against Nottingham Forest, but maybe the positive, he has had 1 or 2 weeks off, and you get Rodri back. How much of a big bonus? Yeah,
of course. So always there are negative things. Always have to take the positive, and tomorrow Rodri is going to play the game, and after I give him take a rest, go to Maldives 4 or 5 days before the national team international break. So yeah, he has to do it. He has to do it. Yeah, that's true.
James, please.
Hi, Pep. This will be the last season for the Champions League group stage in this current format. 6 games, 3 at home, 3 away. Next season, there's going to be 8 group stage matches in this new league stage, and finalists could end up playing as many as 17 games, depending on how they reach the last 16. There's then the prospect of a 32-team Club World Cup following that summer, and obviously they'll go into the 24-25 season on the back of the Euros. You've spoken a lot about the demands and the problems of an ever-growing schedule in the past. Do you think the sort of changes that you could be facing next season will present the sort of the biggest threat to players that we've actually ever seen?
Apparently, yeah. So you said the format of the Champions League, I know they're going to change, but if you reach the final, semi-final, I don't know the disadvantage of comparing this format is more games or less games. I don't know. You said to me, James, that maybe it's a few more, but that's true when you finish the... Sorry?
You've got 2 extra group games in this league structure for definite. If you don't qualify automatically,
no, I don't know. I don't know, James. I don't know just how many games. I know there is more teams in a group stage, but at the end, I don't know the amount of games is the same or much more. This is what
if you reach the final, depending on how you've got to the last 16, it will be 15 or 17 matches.
50, 70 matches.
At least 2 more.
2 more, 3 more. Yeah, 2 more is 3 more is like 1 month. So it's. So always we said, instead to be the quality is the quantity. You say the World Cup, you finish the season, exhausted. Now go to States to play, 32 games, 32 teams to play, the World Cup there. That means if you reach the final, you finish the season, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later after that? And after maybe we'll put in something for the national team, because national teams always have to do it. It happens every season. After, the same. It's the same arguments we have done. I think not just me. I think all the managers in the teams that play in European competitions, every imagine say that. But this is what I'm saying, James. So they do this. They made the competitions. They spoke with the players, the captains of the big teams, of the managers of the big teams. So I read the newspapers and I said, next season will be more games and mixed competitions. So that's why you ask me, I answer. But my intention to answer is going to change something? No, absolutely not.
Take 2 questions.
But the complaints are not here. You go to Spain, Carlo Ancelotti say the same. You go to Italy, Maurizio Sarri now said the same, and everyone. So even for us, we don't have time to analyze. We don't have time to refresh ourselves, we are doing well or bad or whatever. So it's not that. So it's more difficult. Now, honestly, James, I'm not a manager. I'm a manager, but I'm not a trainer, I would say. I don't have trainings in the pitch with all the team to improve. That's why I'm surprised. Matheus or Jeremy, do you think we give them time to understand what we want to do? We give them, process. You want results immediately, but the results... So good food needs time to be cooked, need time, there. Half an hour, 1 hour. You put in microwave, it's not the same. So now everything is so quick. We want results immediately when we don't have time to the players to settle good, to understand the things immediately. So it's always more difficult because the demanding are higher. So it's not because there are these players and now, okay, we can, no, the demand is for our chairmen, our bosses, our sport directors, the media, the fans, well, more and higher, how to do better and win more and more. So the day, like we were out because Newcastle deserved completely, asked question to me if we were disappointed to don't win the quadruple. Are you serious? So everything is too much and we don't have time, but the same, so we continue. They put more competitions, I'm here, we will play those competitions, that's for sure. All the man's going to do it. What I said last day, only the players can stop it, only the players, anyone else.
Take two from German press, please. One from Tom and one from Antje. Tom, please.
Yeah, hi from Leipzig. First of all, I hope you have a safe flight later on.
Thank you so much, Tom. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question about the Leipzig team. They lost quite a few key players in the summer, like Nkunku, Szoboszlai, you got Gvardiol. And even though they are very successful this season again, what do you think about the new Leipzig team? And is there any like player you are most impressed with, like from the new guys already?
No. Normally when that happens, there is because there are 2 or 3 reasons. First of all, the board, they have incredible strategy, the way they want to play. Second, take the manager to the way they want to play and bring the players specific for this type of play. And when these 3 happen, always you do it well. The problem is the club want to do some expectations and they want to play in that way. And after 3 defeats, I want to play in a different way. And after 3 games, I want to play in a different way. And Leipzig, like was it Salzburg and on many teams of the Red Bull, organization. So they know for many years, it doesn't matter Ragnick and after Ralf Husenheit and after, all the managers they had, they played the same style. And they bought the young players to develop and after Salzburg to become one of the richest clubs in the world. So that's why Red Bull in Formula 1 is right now is top. Hopefully Mercedes can help it, can, be there because I'm a big fan for Toto Wolff and Mercedes. Yeah, so that is the reason why the success, because they know the clear strategy and all 3 departments go in the same direction. When that happens, you are a stable club, Sometimes you win the Pokal, sometimes you are always there for the Champions, for the Champions League next season. Of course, battle to Bayern Munich is always difficult, but always they are there. And this is a type of success, and I have a lot of admiration of that. That is what we're trying to do here in Manchester City. That's why I believe we have a success for the last years, or last decade, I would say, because we won in the Premier League this many years, many times, and reach final, semi-final, win in Champions League many years last years. So it's because they are the same idea, like Red Bull, we don't have the philosophy to bring just young players to develop and after sell it. Maybe we have the reality players because in Leipzig, they don't demand to win the Bundesliga, they don't demand to win the Champions League, and Manchester City, yeah. So that's why we're not a little bit strategy, but the idea to say, okay, we want to play in that way, we're going to contact with the manager to play in that way, we're going to try to buy the players to play in that way. And when that's happened, always you had success.
Finish your answer, please, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Could you say something about Josko Gvardiol? How is the impact on your game?
It's the same I said before, so didn't have time to training much with us to do it, but we are really impressed his professionalism and especially a quality human being, can play central defender, left back, that's why he's 21 years old, hopefully can be many years. The impact with us is massive. We are very pleased for his behavior on the pitch. He's already settled perfectly, and I'm very pleased that Man City did what they have done with him.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
We're off.